Hey, what's happening, world? What's happening, world? B Marsh Boxing up back at it with another boxing video. What's going on with y'all? So I'm covering this fight. We got a featherweight. We got Nick Ball defending his WBA 126-pound title. Um, that's featherweight versus, and he's undefeated versus fellow undefeated fighter from Australia. I'm Sam Goodwin. Or was it Goodman? One of the two. Now this was a good fight. Um, the first round I gave it to what's his name, to Ball. Ball was using his jab. In the majority of the rounds that Ball won, he dictated the pace and set it off all with the jab. You know what I mean? The jab, for even though he's a smaller guy, he did have a more dominant jab, in my opinion, than Sam Goodman did. You know what I mean? But after round one, it seemed like this guy thought he could just knock out. Nick Ball thought he could knock out Goodwin with one punch. And he was very aggressive. He stayed on the front foot, but Goodwin was boxing well, you know what I mean? Catching him with uppercuts coming in, you know, clinching when he had to, because Nick Ball does try to live up to his last name. He is like a wrecking ball, you know what I mean? But the guy, Sam Goodman, in my opinion, he withstood any storm that the guy tried to bring, you know what I mean? Um, and and that's how he stayed in the fight. He ain't get knocked out. Because Nick Ball, look, he's not the biggest puncher, but he's an aggressive dude, man. He's a guy who's gonna be all up in your chest. But Sam Goodman, man, it was a good back and forth fight. One of the most back and forth fights I've seen in a long time. You know what I mean? Going into the championship rounds, I had it 6 rounds to 4. You know what I'm saying? 6 rounds to 4 in favor of Goodwin. But Nick Ball, he won the championship rounds on my card. You know what I mean? He won the championship rounds, and I really didn't think anybody won this fight. I thought this fight was a draw. Nobody did anything exceptionally well or, set themselves apart as far as the competition. It was just a back and forth fight. Your turn, my turn. Your turn, my turn. And just by the grace of Nick Ball being the champion, I thought, in my opinion, he did fight well in the championship rounds. The 12th round, I gave it to him, but it could have gone either way. But definitely 10 and 11, I gave it to, what do you call it? I gave it to Nick Ball. But Sam Goodman did a good job. He did a good job in there, as far as, you know, holding his own, landing some clean punches, clinching when he had to. I thought that was the biggest key to him, at least being somewhat in this fight, was the clinching. And it wasn't like just blatantly holding or anything. It was clinching when appropriate, you know what I'm saying? To separate yourself so you could resume your boxing. But I had this fight a draw. Nobody won this fight. I didn't think Nick Ball won it. I don't think the Australian won it. You know what I'm saying? He did a good job, Sam Goodwin, but nah, I don't think he won it. Now, what's next for Sam Goodwin? I'm sorry, Nick Ball. A lot of people have been critical about his title defenses and the caliber of fighters he's been fighting. I believe he fought T.J. Donaghy not too long ago, and T.J. Donaghy is a former champion, I believe, at 122 IBF. He's a little past it. When there's guys to unify, like the what's the guy from Mexico, Rafael Espinoza, he's out there. Angelo Leo has a belt. I know Cool Boy Steph has a belt, and Cool Boy Steph, he's come out to Japan, so that just it shows me he's also willing to travel to England if he has to. You know what I mean? Luis Alberto Lopez, Shushu Carrington, what's the guy who fought the Figueroa, not over Brandon Figueroa. So there's some fighters out there, and we'll see what Nick Ball does. Revelation TV, what's happening, man? He says scorecard too wide. That's a good one. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, yeah. One of those judges, man. They had the scorecard like 117 to 109, basically like 9 rounds to 3. That's impossible. Nobody won 9 rounds in this fight. I don't think anybody even won 7. So that definitely was well, the scorecards were crazy. By the way, they called it a unanimous decision in favor of the man Nick Ball. No, I had it a draw. I don't care what nobody say. I'm saying Gustavo says hi. What's up, Gustavo? Revelation TV says Ball is protected. He's going to be exposed soon. Yeah. I believe he should be fighting better fighters at this. Now Sam Goodwin was a good title defense. This is a guy who's undefeated. What was a big win that Sam Goodwin had at one point in time? He fought the American kid, the black dude. What was that dude's name, man? He was a dude that many people were saying at 122. Many people were saying that Cool Boy Steph is ducking that kid. Oh man, I'm forgetting his name. But Sam Goodwin had a major upset on that guy. Not no controversial decision, not no close fight, no nothing. Nick Ball gave that dude that work, you know what I mean? I'm not Nick Ball, excuse me. Sam Goodman, you know what I mean? So this was a good title defense, definitely a better title defense than T.J. Doheny, and there's no disrespect to T.J. Doheny. He's a pro boxer, so I give him all the props he deserves. But this guy was what do you call it? I believe what's his name? What's his name at BTJ Doheny too? Sam Goodman. You know what I mean? So it was a good title defense considering the guy's undefeated. I think it was the guy's name was uh Risa Alim. Risa Alim from where the fuck was Risa Alim from? I can't even remember, but he's an American dude and he was on a mandatory for Cool Boy Steph at 122 for some period of time. But yeah, man, looking forward to see what Nick Ball's gonna do next. Like I said, there's many live fighters to fight in that at that featherweight division. Looks like he's trying to get a fat payday against what do you call it? Fat payday against the monster Naoya Inoue. You know what I mean? So he might be in position to try and duck all these fighters in his weight class, even for unifications, to try to get that big payday versus the monster Inoue. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping not, and I'm sure if the monster Inui comes to England, it'll make massive money because they big boxer fans in the UK. And I already know if the fight happens in Japan, they're gonna make a lot of paper too because they love the monster over there. All right, be much boxing, man. Big up everybody in the chat. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Gone.